Hey, fellow problem solvers, Colfax Math here. Today's video is on sample statistics for an IB Math course or the IB Math exam. This is for IB Math SL, analysis and approaches. Usually you split statistics between univariate and bivariate. Univariate is one variable where you're looking at mean and standard deviation. Bivariate is you're looking at two variables and how they affect each other and you're drawing regressions. We are in the univariate section of statistics right now, one variable stats. That again is split between whole population stats, and I have videos on that, and now we're looking at sample stats. Sample statistics is all about taking a sample out of the whole and figuring out how well that sample represents the whole. We're still going to use our z-table. We're going to use it in a very similar way, but the interpretation of that is very different. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with sample statistics in univariate stats for the IB Math exam. I have an example problem here we'll work through. Before we get started, let me just talk about the variables we are going to use. In sample stats, you work with a mean of the sample. So in this case right here, let's say I'm a pecan farmer. I out-farm, I don't know, millions of pecans every year, and I want to know their average weight. I'm not going to weigh every single pecan individually. I'm just going to pull out 50. That's my sample size. So my sample size is 50 from the total. I weigh each one of those 50 pecans, and they weigh, on average, 10 grams. So I weigh all 50 of them, I add up those weights, divide by 50, and I get my sample mean of 10 grams. It is found the exact same way as you find the regular mean of a whole population. I just put that sub S to say it is of the sample. Next, I find the sample standard deviation. And that's almost identical to finding the standard deviation. The only difference is I divide by n minus 1. That is called degrees of freedom instead of dividing by n. That is the standard deviation of the sample, and it's very similar to the standard deviation of the whole, except for that one difference in the division there. It is the measurement of how far away every unit is, every x inside the sample, from the average. The larger the sample standard deviation, the greater the variability in the weights. I only get my sample standard deviation to calculate my standard error. Standard error is the important number and the mean in sample statistics. Standard error is sigma sub x bar, and it is defined with the equation, the standard deviation of the sample divided by the square root of n. A few big simplifications here, but this is what we're going for the IB Math SL exam. So if these are my problems right here, find the standard error. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the standard deviation of the sample that's given and my size of my sample to find my standard error. My standard error will be equal to 2 grams, that's given, divided by the square root of 50, and I get a standard error of 2 divided by the square root of 50, and I get 0.28. I'm going to round this 0.28 to 0.3 for ease of explanation. Because we're talking about sample statistics, how well this sample represents the whole, we're going to use our mean of 10 and our standard error of 0.3. So that's problem number 1, find the standard error. That's it right there. Problem number 2, find the 90% confidence interval. Let me erase this part up here so I have a little room to work. I'm going to erase this, drawing my bell curve. And this is a little tricky here. I draw my bell curve of normal distribution. In the middle of that bell curve is x bar, and that average is 10 of the sample. And I'm asked to find the 90% confidence interval. So I want to know what value is here and here to give me a 90% probability on the overall. The z-table I have is everything to the left of a given point. So it is not finite from here to here. It's from here all the way to the left under that tail as well. So even though I have 90% from here and here, 100% of all values are underneath that bell curve. So these two tails together have to add up to 10%. They are symmetrical, so half of that 10 is 5. So this is 0, 5, and this is 0, 5. Then everything to the left of this is a 90 and 5, or 0.95. So I'm saying everything to the left of this point, the area under the graph to the left of this point, is 95%. That is the area under the table. I have to go into my Z table, look up 95 in the body of my table. It's right here, 0.9495, 0.9505. It is at 1.64 or 1.64 or 1.65. So it's in between those two. So P of Z is equal to 95%. The corresponding Z value is 1.645, halfway between the 1.64, and the 5. So I have my Z value. This value right here is going to be so many units away from the mean. The number of units away from the mean is going to be equal to the Z value, 1.645, times the standard error, 0.3. So I'm going to take that right there, my 1.645, multiply it by my standard error, 0.3, and get 0.4935. I'm just going to round that to 0.5. And I am saying 0.5 units away will put me at 10.5. It is symmetrical, so 0.5 units away in this direction will put me at 9.5. But this is the important part. This is the big difference. What this means is very different. I am not saying 90% of my values are going to sit between 9.5 and 10.5 grams. Remember, I'm a pecan farmer. I grow all of these millions of pecans. I draw a sample of 50 out of how many I grow. The average weight of every individual pecan is 10 grams with a sample standard deviation of 2 grams. What I am saying with this is with 90% confidence, with 90% probability, the weight of my crop will average between 9.5 and 10.5. So it's very different. I'm not saying of the pecans I grow, they're going to be not between 9.5 and 10.5. I am saying with 90% probability, a 90% confidence interval, the average weight of an individual pecan will be between 9.5 grams and 10.5 grams. So what that means is if I just go into my group, my whole population, I pull out 10 pecans and I weigh them, I would expect their average weight 90% of the times be between 9.5 grams and 10.5 grams. All right, go ahead and pause the video and find the 95% confidence interval for the same set of data. Unpause the video and watch how I do it. Okay, hopefully you gave that a try. First thing I do is I draw out my normal distribution. Right in the middle is my average of 10. I want from here to here to be 95%. Well, 95 from 100 is 5. So that means this is 0.25 and this is 0.25. I want to know everything to the left of that point. So my P is Z value, because of the Z table I'm using, is 0.975. I go over to my Z table right here and I look up 0.975. 0.975, gotta stand back, is right here. And it's a Z value of 1.96. So 1.96 is my z-value. From here, I get a z-value of 1.96. I multiply it not by my standard deviation of the sample, but by my standard error. So I multiply that by 0.3 to get the number of units away I am. So 1.96 times that 0.3 gives me 0.588. I'm going to round that to 0.6. And what I'm saying here is 0.6 units away from 10 will be the upper end of my bound. 0.6 away below will be the lower measurement of my bound. And I am saying with 95% confidence, my actual sample average weight will be between 9.4 and 10.6. Our first answer for 90% confidence was 9.5 to 10.5. So you could see these confidence intervals are going to get bigger and bigger as the probabilities get higher and higher. So the likelihood of the average weight being between 9.4 and 10.6 is 95% probable, which is a confidence interval. So again, if I could just recap, we are in univariate stats, split between two separate kind of divisions. One is whole populations, when I have all the data, like all of my test scores. The other type of statistics are sample stats, where I draw a sample out of the whole population. I measure that sample, and I want to know how confident I can be of that sample representing the whole. Well, in this case, I could be 90% confident that the average weight would be between this 9.5 grams and 10.5 grams. If I wanted to be more confident, like 95% confident, then I would increase the size of my window to 9.4 times 10.6. It's really common to find a 90% confidence interval, a 95%, a 98%, 99, 99.5. But now that I have this confidence interval, I know the number of pecans I grew on my farm, and I know with 95% probability, each one, the average weight's going to be between here and here. So I know I'm going to have whatever, 9.4 thousand tons or 10.6 thousand tons of weight. So that's how confidence interval works in sample statistics. Again, this is for the IB Math SL exam. Thank you for watching.